Alright, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to you elect Akim across the four corners of this earth, kicking this word in sincerity and in truth. I'm just going to bring out about two scriptures, but I'm mainly just going into the wickedness that's been multiplied throughout the four corners of the earth. And we know that that vibration was pushed out through the seed of Satan, who we know to be the so-called white man, or as the scriptures would consider the Edomite, because ever since they've been in power, there's been nothing but wickedness and chaos being run through the whole planet Earth. But it was prophesied through the Most High Yahweh that it was going to happen, through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that all this was going to happen, and he was going to stack sin on top of sin on top of sin. And that was going to make his fall so much more dynamic than all these other kingdoms' falls. Like Babylon, you had them that fell. You had them that ruled, they fell. Then you had the Persians who took them over, and then they fell after that. And then you've had the Grecians, and when you go into the Grecians, that really just started the so-called white man's rule with Alexander the Great. And with him being in power, that's when he had pushed homosexuality, he had pushed bestiality. All of that stuff was still here. But ever since he got put in place, it just got multiplied, it got strengthened, it got exonified, it got exhorted, and we're still seeing the fruits of their labors today, living over here in America, which some of the scriptures consider Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon, Rome 7.0, Greece 7.0, the whole shebang. Okay, so I'm going to start off my first scripture going into the book of First Maccabees, the first chapter, all right? And it reads, "And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece." Okay, so when you go into the rulership of King Philip, that was the father of Alexander the Greek, and he's the one that smitten King Darius. I believe it was Darius the third, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and that was how they took the Medo-Persian Empire out of power, and that's when the Grecians had started to rule, starting with Philip of Macedonia. Okay, verse 2, "And made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth." So this is going on their reign, on how they was able to take over the earth. They started many wars, they won many wars, they slain many kings. They ruled by the sword, pretty much what was prophesied. And when you go to Genesis, the 27th chapter, okay, verse 3, "And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart lifted up." And this is again, Esau's reign. This is the start of his blessing that was promised to him in Genesis, the 27th chapter. Because if you knew who Philip was, and if you know who Alexander the Greek were, they were Edomites when you actually do the research on them. Now, you did have people that lived in the land of Rome and the land of Greece before they had took over, and those were the Etruscans. But when you research Alexander and Philip, they actually were after the Etruscans were taken down. Okay, verse 4, "And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, nations, and kings, who became tributaries unto him." And again, this is just prophecy being fulfilled at this point. When the Lord said that he was going to rule the earth with the sword, he was going to have the fatness of the earth, and he was going to rule the dew of heaven. Okay, this is pretty much the start of his rulership. We know the so-called white men, the Edomites, they've been in existence for millennia. So I can turn this down. We knew they've been in existence for many a millennia, but this is the time where they're actually being exalted now, and that's why it said in the scripture that he gathered a mighty host, and he pretty much became ruler of the earth at this point. All right. "And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from youth, and parted his kingdom amongst when he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and died." And when you go to those four generals that it's talking about, you got Seleucid, you have Cassander, you have Lysimachus, then you have Ptolemy. Okay, and the kingdom was split into those four Edomite generals, and they ruled the earth. Okay, and again it says, "So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves." So excuse me. So did their sons after them. Many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Okay, so as the scriptures say, as prophecy is fulfilled pretty much, when these men were in power, when the so-called white man got in power, it's talked about evils being multiplied upon the earth. Again, they pushed out homosexuality, that vibration upon many people, and many people are doing that right now. That's the fruit of their labors. Okay, you can't breathe the air right. They put GMOs in the foods. Everything is wicked under the sun. Everything that these men do are contrary to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And when you finish when you read further going into this chapter, it talks about how what they did to us as a people. They were slamming our babies' heads on the stones. They were hanging our infants. They were forcing us to eat pork. They were doing a lot of things on the face of this earth. But again, this goes into his blessing. This goes into his rule. This goes into what was prophesied about this devil, that he was going to rule with the sword. Okay? And of course, now, when you go into the history of it, I believe it's in Revelation, the 20th chapter, when he was going to be bound up for 1,000 years. That happened with the start of Septimius Severus. Okay, and going further on for 1,000 years, where there were black emperors and black kings that ruled Rome. But after those 1,000 years were up during the Renaissance, that's when they came back in their power again. So all this is, again, prophecy just being fulfilled. Okay, but the reason why I'm going into this chapter, because this is the start of this evil, wicked man's rule. Okay, and the stuff that you see in the earth. If this devil wasn't in the earth, this satanic negative vibration wouldn't be placed here. Animals wouldn't be sick. Animals wouldn't be extinct. You would see lightning bugs. You would see the bees. You would be able to breathe the air right. You would be able to drink better water. You would be able to follow your power. Okay, you would be able to follow your power and follow all the laws. You wouldn't be in Babylon. Okay, but it was meant for this devil to be this devil. Okay, because this is what was given to him. This is his blessing. Ultimately, it's because we fell off as a people. Okay, but what you can witness with your eyes right now is that these evilness, or this wickedness, has been stretched forth and multiplied on top of multiplied on top of multiplied. Okay, if you're a spiritual man, you can see that this place is abominable, especially living over here in Babylon, Rome 7.0. Okay, they take all the same customs that Greek followed, Rome followed, Britain followed, Babylon followed. They put all this stuff up and they just made America out of it. Okay, I got another scripture I'm going to go into, and it's going to be the last scripture. I got to get back to work, but I just want to go into a little lesson to show that the product of what this devil's done, and how his wickedness has been perpetuated throughout the planet Earth for millennia. Okay, so this is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 16, and it reads, "When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increase, but the righteous shall see their fall." So again, it says when the wicked are multiplied, transgression shall increase. And you can see that within itself. With this devil being in power, you look at the condition of our people, and they got our people to transgress. And by the stuff they put in our foods, by the stuff they put in our drinks, they're dumbing our people down. They're making our people not conscious at all. And when I say conscious, I mean conscious in what's righteous. Okay, and that's these scriptures. They want you to believe that these scriptures aren't meant for you. They brought us over to this land and wouldn't even let us read the scriptures. And now they condition our people to be so much of demons that you see a so-called black man, Native American man, or Latino man reading the Bible. Our own people look at you and tell you that, why you reading a so-called white man's book? Okay, they've conditioned you to be this devil that it is, and that's going into the transgression being increased. Pork, that's being allowed. They look at you like you're crazy if you don't eat pork. If you insult the LGBT community, you look crazy. If somebody you see at your job be like, "Oh damn, look at her, she got a fat ass," excuse my language, and then she has a man with her, and you say, "No, I'm not gonna look." They look at you like you're crazy. This is all a product of what this devil has done. Okay, turn us away from our power, poison the earth. I'm talking about the earth is rejecting this demon, man. You can't even breathe air. You can't even drink the water. You can't do anything that you were able to do before. You can't go to another country without them telling you that you can do it. Okay, they look at you like you're crazy within everything that you do. If you pick up a Bible and read it, people look at you and walk past like, "Are you kidding me?" But as it says, "But the righteous shall see their fall," and the righteous is going to see their fall, because with us living in Babylon, we see their fall right now. we're seeing certain things play out, and we know it's the miracles and the works of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And ultimately, as the scriptures say, we're going to see that. And it says, happy is the man that seeth the fall of his enemy. When you go to Sirach, the 25th chapter, the 7th verse, and we're witnessing that right now. And when the end all be all takes place, the righteous are going to witness it then. And then, Lord willing, we're those men. Lord, ultimately, Israel's going to take his place. But Lord willing, we're the elect. We're going to be the ones to rule and take down our enemy. Okay, along with our power, Yahweh Shai. And that's something beautiful to see. Okay, but we got to keep on enduring through this wickedness, because it's vexing to the spirit when you see stuff like this happening and you can't do nothing about it physically, But we do have a blueprint, which is in these scriptures. Okay, we have a blueprint which is in these scriptures that tells us how to handle things, that tells us what to do when you have temptation everywhere, when you have wickedness everywhere, when folly is set at great dignity. All right. And, that's it on that one. I got to get back to work. But, Lord willing, the video was edifying. I was just doing some reading and I came across that scripture, and that inspired me to do this lesson over here. But again, ever since the Grecians came in power, it's been nothing but chaos out of chaos out of chaos. Death is everywhere. But through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, that's going to spring forth life. He's going to kill off all these wicked people, and he's going to bring forth his righteousness. And that tree has already been planted and now is growing. Okay. So again, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and salutation to your elect Akim across the four corners of this earth, kicking this word in sincerity and truth. Man up, shalom.